when you go to bed with the big boys, you're gonna feel some pain in the morning. You understand? No.
What if a child dreamed of becoming something other than what society had intended? What if a child aspired to something greater?
What's up, YouTube? Jake here with Visionary Training. First video of 2025. It's just going to be a little leg workout. Going to give you guys just a few little cues. It's not going to be anything crazy. This is just a leg workout that I've been doing lately. I think is a great, not necessarily a beginner workout, but a solid, I would say, foundation workout. Exercises that you can work on getting stronger at, that aren't complicated, but that you can get the most benefits out of. So the first exercise here is squats. Now in this, is my form 100% perfect? No. Could my depth be better? Yes. But you know, there's always things that you can improve on. Constant improvement, constant learning, that sort of thing. But regardless of the form, the main cue, if you've never done squats or it kind of feels weird to you, you can always set your heels on a plate to kind of raise your feet up, which will be important in later on in this video that I'll talk about more. But the best piece of advice I could give for any kind of squat, just a normal back squat regardless, to just not complicate it. You know, obviously you can go way in depth about where to set your feet, how to have your knees pointed, such and such, but I think the best thing is to have the mental cue of when you first start the rep, to initiate the movement, you stick your butt out first and then you start to lower your knees. Because usually when I see people like doing horrible form, or it looks like, yeah, they're gonna hurt something, or if a form doesn't feel right on a squat, usually people try to bend their knees first and then start sticking their butt out. That's where you get pain and just too many issues to even list. So when you're doing a squat, and you can even do this without any weight, just standing there, you know, doing body weight squats, is you think mentally in your head, okay, I'm gonna slightly stick my butt out. That is what's going to initiate the movement of doing the squat. So mentally, that's what I'm thinking about before I do the squat, and when I'm setting up here to go through my reps. I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going to initiate this movement by sticking my butt out first, and then my knees will naturally go down, instead of vice versa of thinking, okay, I'm going to bend my knees first and my butt, you know, sticks out first, or goes by second. Another thing is I'm just trying to do weight that I can do a decent amount of reps for. You know, I don't really like doing sets of 5, sets of 3, but I'm not caring about strength at all. That's not part of my goal, what I'm primarily concerned with at all. It's just doing repetitions for weight that feels good. So here's 315 on squats. Now the next exercise, this is, man, I really wish I'd been doing this sooner. I've really only been doing this about a year now. But it's just goblet squats. I would do them on and off through my training through the years, but never actually standing on a plate like this with my heels elevated, and never consistently. I've been doing them consistently now, and it's just an exercise. If I could pick one leg exercise other than a squat to have somebody do, especially a beginner, someone who doesn't really understand body mechanics or knows how their body works through space, is these goblet squats. Because when you get your heels pointed like this, everything that I just mentioned about having to have a mental cue for when you do a squat about sticking your butt out, you don't have to think about nothing when you do this. It's almost like you're in some kind of machine that's doing it for you, because when you have your heels elevated, it just allows for so much more flexibility in your ankle joint that you're able to just naturally do a squat without having any kind of movement issues, mobility. I mean, as you can see here, this is another reason that I'm not super concerned with how deep my squat depth is, because here I'm literally, my hamstrings are touching the back of my calves. I mean, I cannot go any further down. It's very easy to load this exercise too. Like, I've got an 80-pound dumbbell. I'm doing sets of 15 just because of how I like higher rep ranges for legs. But goblet squats, man, that is one thing for anyone, guy or girl, beginner in the gym. Goblet squats, give them a try. The next exercise in this is just like stiff-legged deadlift / Romanian deadlift, you know, just kind of some hamstring movement. And on this, I'm keeping my back as straight as possible. The only really kind of tip I would give for this is you don't really have to go much lower than right past your knees. If you go any lower than that, or if you're going all the way to the ground or even picking it up off the ground, or you get more glutes and lower back. So I was trying to keep the motion short there, just so that it was just pure tension on the hamstring the whole time. Then I moved on to seated hamstring curl. My gym right now, it only has this seated one. We actually don't have a lying hamstring curl. And there's some debate and some evidences that seated hamstring curls are better overall for development. But I like this machine pretty good. My only advice would to just pick, not go crazy heavy. Like you can see there, even towards the end, my lower back and my butt starts coming off the seat. So if you're having to do that for like the majority of your set, you're probably going too heavy. So that would be really my only advice on this. I mean, it's kind of straightforward how to do this. Just not getting your ego in the way and letting yourself just